2 weeks ago, I started working on my very first game in Unity. Today, I released it. Well, it was 2 days ago, but the idea is still 2 weeks. This is Banana Rounds, and it definitely did not go smoothly. I'm completely new to Unity and game development as a whole. I have no creative experience. I suck at art, animations, you name it. I do have a programming background, and on paper you would think that I'm pretty good, but honestly I'm really average. So I want to try out indie game development and record my journey to show everyone that if I can do it, then so can you. Now I've had a bit of free time on my hands, so for the past 2 weeks I've been grinding non-stop to see if I could actually get something out. I was aiming to get a learning experience and build my foundation with this game. So I made sure not to use any asset packs or copy code from tutorials. It was just a lot of trial and a lot more error. Banana Rounds is this fast-paced survival type of game, where you just kind of throw bananas at annoying enemies and increase your stats round by round, and the only incentive is to just get to a higher round than you previously did. The goal of the game was really simple. I just picked out a big restraint and made that the main mechanic of the game. In this case, the player is only able to shoot once, and they'd have to pick up their bullet to shoot again. Naturally, I was leaning towards bullets and guns and stuff for the game, I don't really know, but a lot of that changed after one night in Discord where I showed my friend what I had been making, and we both sort of just had a really good laugh at how bad the game was, and he gave me a lot of good advice. It really helped make the rest of the idea clear, because I sort of just started the game with that one constraint in mind and nothing else. I made almost all of the art from scratch, and like I mentioned before, I'm super terrible at art. I've only ever used MS Paint, and that's what I was going to use to make the art for this game, but my friend did not like that idea and encouraged me to get a better software. So I started using something a bit more professional. Krita. There's a big learning curve with Krita in my opinion, or maybe that's just because I've never used any other art software before. And I like how I'm saying this as if I got over that learning curve already. My artistic choices are pretty questionable, but at least I can say they're mine. Also, it was kind of fun making this, so going forward I definitely want to continue making all the art for my games, is what I'm telling myself. In reality, I got a bit too motivated after drawing my monkey that I bought this deco drawing tablet thingy, and now I have to make it worth, so I'm sort of just coping. Animations were also really difficult. I didn't know where to start. I was just gonna make them in Unity, but I saw a Reddit thread saying it's pretty limited and a terrible choice if you've never animated before. Fortunately for me, you can actually animate in Krita, so I just tried using that after watching a few tutorials. Animating took way longer than expected, and all my animations are really bad and pretty questionable. Honestly, art was a huge challenge for me, which kinda sucks because I feel like a game is just mostly art, right? I don't know. Enough about art though, let's talk a bit about programming and the mechanics that went into the game. I don't want to bore anyone with like super technical details, but long story short, I definitely learned a lot from this game. I learned about event handlers, using singleton patterns sparingly of course. I learned about coroutines, I have no idea how to say this word.
Coroutines.
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 Coroutines. Oh my gosh, it's just literally routines. I feel like I should have known that I'm kind of slow. Anyways, I learned about the particle system and all the math that goes with the physics engine. I'm just kidding, I suck at math, and that part was incredibly frustrating and difficult. I learned how to make UIs and player input. I'm just kidding again. I used the old version of player input with Unity, which is easier, but apparently it's deprecated, as in like it's discontinued. So, oops, I'll fix that for the next game I make. The differing screen resolutions and aspect ratios gave me a really tough time, mainly because I'm making the game for like 1920 by 1080, which I think is like default, I don't know, but I wanted to record clips in vertical resolution since I was making shorts, like short form videos, but each time I changed the resolution of the game, I had to manually move the walls that I was using to make sure the banana doesn't go flying off the screen. I didn't fix the wall issue till the very end, I don't know why, and eventually I hit the point where I had to stop adding features and just ship it for my own sanity because I was just getting really burnt out from making this game. Just like with any other programming project I've ever had, it's like the start is super easy and motivated, but towards the end you just want to finish it or just move on to a different project, right? You always want to scrap it. So I'm really proud that I actually shipped this one out. I built the Windows version and I also made a web version because I figured more people would play it if they didn't have to download it. That way I can maximize the feedback I get. I learned that finishing a game is way harder than starting one. To be honest, if I'm coming clean here, I didn't really do that much like quality assurance. I didn't really test that much. I didn't really iron out any bugs I saw. I just really want to get this game out and be done with it. I learned that art, code, and design, they all fight each other constantly, man. And most importantly, I learned that progress beats perfection every single time. Allegedly. I also want to talk a bit about my content because this whole thing honestly started as an accountability thing. I didn't really trust myself to release this game without scrapping it and trying to make a new game. So I decided to just document everything. And weirdly, it worked really well. Like there were days where the only reason why I kept working on this game was because I needed something to post at the end of the day. I had this random arbitrary goal of getting a short out by the end of the day and I just didn't want to break that streak. That said, I don't want to rush content anymore just to hit a daily upload. I know that's what everyone says about growing your channel to consistently upload every single day, but it's just not sustainable for me since every short, even if it's like 20 or 30 seconds, I always put my all into it and it takes a while. So my goal is 2 to 3 shorts a week, just much higher quality hopefully. And I also want to get a longer devlog like this once every week or two just to show the full dev process instead of highlights. As for the next game, I'm probably going to take a few days just to brainstorm some new ideas. This time I want to go bigger, a lot bigger. Right now I probably want to stick to 2D just to iron out my foundation a bit more before moving on to 3D. That's a whole different beast that I'm not ready to tackle yet, mainly because I know like I have to do like models or something in Blender, I think I saw, and that looks really hard and I'm already struggling with 2D art, so I don't want to get to 3D just yet. I'm thinking of making a fighter game. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I can make my own characters and my own moves. This will really force me to dial in on my animations and art and also making the game feel good because I feel like that's a big part of fighting games, which is ironic because animations and art is probably my weakest point, so maybe it's a good thing, right? Work on my weaknesses here. Another thing that I'll have to learn is multiplayer, so I'm pretty excited about learning that. I want to conclude this video by saying that this game wasn't about making something perfect, it was about proving to myself that I could actually finish something. And now that I've done that, I'm not gonna stop. If you have any feedback, good or bad, please drop a comment below, and subscribe if you want to follow my journey. Oh, and like the video too, please. Or don't. I guess dislike the video if you didn't like it. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the support. I'll see you in the next devlog.